Good morning, everyone. I am in Abbotsford on a 36-hour reset, and I decided I'm going to hang. My sister's in town, my sister Marilyn, she's a sweetheart. And I've decided to spend some time with her today. What we're going to do is a lot of fun. We're going to actually, we went to school and we were raised in Delta somewhat. Anyway, since I was 10 years old, or 11. So from grade 5 and up, we were in Edmonton before grade 5. And then once we made our way into British Columbia, and I think it was 1980, grade 5 was it. And went to several schools in Delta. So today we decided to be a little nostalgic and go check out some of the schools, considering a lot of them are open because of the registration time now that kids are going back to school. So I called a few of the schools yesterday and they are open. So we are going to go check out and see if we can actually walk down some of the halls of some of these schools that we went to and bring back a little bit of memory. So I'm just on my way over to pick her up at the hotel. My lovely sister, waiting for her chariot. How you doing, my dear?
Good. How you doing?
This is my lovely sister Marilyn.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, I'm letting everybody know that we're heading into Delta to do some reminiscing, to check out some of the old schools and that. And I'm really hoping we'll have an opportunity to go to Seattle and sit up in the theater, right? Which we did when we were like in grade, I don't know, I was in grade 9. Was I in grade 9? Yeah. 10. No, I think I was in grade 9. Yeah. Grade 10, I was in Garibaldi in Maple Ridge. Yeah. So grade 9, you were in grade 10 at that time, I think, or grade 11. You're 2 years ahead of me, aren't you? Yeah. So you're in grade 11. Yeah. Yeah, unreal. Yeah. Okay. It's funny too, you know, the only real memories I have of that school that were pleasant were with you. Every other memory was a life of
we had lots of fun.
Oh yeah, and the rest of it was bullies and yeah, people I used to dream of later on of dropping off a cliff. But those days are past because we're Christian now. All right. My sister and I, Marilyn, we decided to do some reminiscing, as I mentioned before, and look at some of the old schools that we went to. And the first one on our list, when we first moved into Delta, which was 1980, very first school we went to, I was in grade 5, was Hellings Elementary, this place right here. Yeah, man, this school brings back a lot of memories. I wonder how far back it goes. Oh yeah. 2006, 7. I wonder if they even have anything here goes that far back. Wouldn't that, maybe down the other halls they might. Oh goodness, it's so much more narrow here. That's the staff room. It's very, very narrow. Bathroom.
Where they put all our little coats here.
This gym just looks so small. But it's the original, which is really cool.
1971.
Wow. It would be nice if we could actually see some old class pictures, but we're going all the way back to 1980, so they probably... I'm really surprised they don't have them on the walls out here.
Yes, too. They should.
It's really disappointing in a way.
You know, I remember going to school, and they would have classes from the 1950s, and the floor
Yeah.
was still up.
Oh, I know. What happened to our generation? And they never had that fenced off before either. I'm pretty sure that's the door that went to grade 5.
Look at this. Look at this library.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't ever remember coming in here. I don't. That's how much I liked books. I like the smell of it though, eh? Do you remember like the elementary schools, they always used to smell like crayon?
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Of course. Sunshine Hills Elementary is fond memories, but I think the school we're looking forward to the most would be what, Seattle?
and Sands.
And Sands for Maryland.
And of course Garibaldi.
Yeah, that's Maple Ridge.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. This is why we specifically did this, because we knew the schools would be open for registration, so I think we planned this quite well. Well, one additional place that we used to spend time, and that's church. Immaculate Conception, and things have changed a whole lot in here. This is a parish hall, but this used to be the old church. Yeah, they used to have a statue up here and the cross up here, and that's the new church right there. I remember Mom and Dad putting a lot of money into that church. Oh my gosh, Marilyn, look at how small it looks. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I was an altar boy at this church when it was a church, but now it's just a hall now. And this is the new church. Well, it's not new, but
New to us.
it replaced the other one. Did we ever go here? I guess we never did we? Look at the 12 apostles in the back. That's kind of neat, actually.
That is neat.
And that cross up there, that crucifix, that was the one out of the old church. And there's the Mary that was in the old church, too.
Yeah. So neat.
It's actually a nice looking church.
I like it.
It's kind of neat that
Back of our memories.
they have something back from the old one. I know, I remember I used to look at that a lot when I was a kid. Well, right now we are at Sands Secondary School. This is where Marilyn went. I think you went here for 2 years?
Just the one actually.
Yeah, one year.
But it was a pretty big year.
This school hasn't changed a bit. It still looks just as creepy. But do you remember what the inside looked like if you walk in?
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, let's go find out.
That's the gym right there.
I figured that was the chapel. The gym. Okay, we're in the dark.
I still remember where they are.
Did you ever used to come into the gym at all?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
I remember this one time that I was in grade 8 here. We were doing basketball, and of course, you know, I'm just so great at it. And I had, now this might be TMI, but I did not know, but I had this huge, horrible pain in my back. and my teacher thought I was faking to get out of basketball.
Oh, jeez.
So what happened was I actually had to sit on the sidelines. She was not happy. She thought I was BSing her. I brought back a note a few days later. I had this horrible kidney infection.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That cafeteria didn't look like much of a cafeteria. But I guess they set up tables and everything there. Well, I think we've seen it all. I mean, this school's a lot smaller than I thought. That carving up there. Yeah, well, when I drew it, it didn't look like that. It's obviously been faded. Yeah, $100 to do that design. They got a lot of pictures on the walls in here, Marilyn. We never know. We might be able to see something back in '83. Let's go. Back in '83, I was a really good student. This kid had a whole bunch of fireworks, and he put them in his locker, and he just happened to be right next to my locker. So I went into metalwork class and made a crowbar and broke into the locker. Got all the fireworks, and the principal was watching me through a two-way glass. I got suspended. That was the days when I was a little mischievous. But I'm much better now. Okay, this is different. I thought for sure my locker was down here. And I'm thinking, I remember I was telling you about that incident with the fireworks or whatever. The principal caught me doing it, and he was watching me through a two-way glass. And if you look here, this used to be an old window. Okay, they closed this off. He was sitting here behind a two-way glass in my locker. It worked. It was about one of these. It was one of these here. I wonder if I can find out which one is his, because I used a crowbar to get into it.
This looks pretty crowbar-ish.
I wonder. No, I broke his lock off. That's what I did. Right, I busted his lock off. This, I'm not sure. But anyway, one of these lockers was the one. It could have been this one too. Look at how rusted these things are.
I know, isn't that amazing?
But he was right over there through that two-way glass over there watching me break into this thing. And I think the metalwork class, if this is accurate, it's over here. Down here and to the left. So I think it was in this class here. I think that was metalwork. And then you had the construction right here. We got to find the cafeteria. So graphics. I remember graphics. You remember graphics?
Oh,
I used to love the smell of the ink.
Yes, I went in there.
Hey, these are new lockers.
I
These look like brand new ones. Oh no, they're not.
I had a graphics. I took graphics class, and what I did is we made notepads, and we put the glue on the outside. And
Yeah.
made these big, thick notepads. I had a lot of fun, and I actually had to take the type and put it in a press and line it all up, and then put it in this printing.
Those are fun days. That
printing
must be the
press.
cafeteria right there.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I also did type photography. We did in a dark room.
Yeah.
Really cool. All the red lights. It was so neat.
Okay, this is the cafeteria. And there should be some stairs up top too. Now, it was, see, remember the stairwell here? Look at how small this looks.
Wow, we used to go all the way
Yeah.
up.
And the funny thing is, when we went to this school, the kids at lunchtime, or actually not even at lunchtime, sometimes right in the beginning of the day, they would throw their lunches into the garbage cans. We seen them do that, and they'd all pile into here at lunchtime. So their moms and dads made, their moms made them their lunches, and they threw away their lunches just so they could come here and eat their food. And I remember seeing them do that. I'm like, their poor mom went through all that work to make them a lunch, and they just throw them out.
Yeah. So what did we do? We decided we were going to rescue that food.
Well, there was times we were pretty hungry, and we see someone throw a perfectly good lunch out, and we said, no, that ain't going to waste. And we grab it. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, how can you do that? We were hungry.
Yeah.
We were hungry.
As soon as that, it was all
Yeah.
it was a clean garbage bag every day.
Yeah.
And it was just loaded with garbage.
People, we could not
Lunch
believe the
bags,
good
paper
food that
bags.
people were throwing away. So we would grab a few things. Oh, wait a minute. I think, don't we have to go up to the top floor to get to the cafeteria? Not the cafeteria. To the auditorium. Let's take a walk up memory lane here.
Yes, really.
Yeah, first thing in the morning, there was no garbage. First thing in the morning, there was absolutely no garbage in the garbage cans. It was all bags and bags and bags of people's lunches. What a waste of food. And they would come in here and get their,
I'm just thinking back on how we would just stealthily grab the garbage can,
drag it into
pull
the
it
bathroom.
into the ladies' bathroom, and you would grab one and pull it into the men's
Yeah.
bathroom, and then we would just.
Would we synchronize a time that we would both come out during break or something, or during a class?
I think maybe during we would just have a bathroom break.
But we did it
we
at
would
the
just-
same time. I forgot there was a second floor on this.
Wow. So we would do that, and then just grab a few bags, and then just head to the auditorium.
Yeah. Head to the auditorium, sit on the top row, and we would watch the students do their art stuff, their theatrical stuff, which was really a lot of fun. See, this is a much bigger school than Sands.
Oh yeah.
There's even another level up there. Let's go to the roof. So this is an upper view of the cafeteria. Hard to believe you could get 500, 600 students in here. Yeah. Well, let's go find the theater.
Here for 2 years, and then we moved.
Right.
I had to go to another school.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Oh.
It was 83.
Hello. These are former Seattle students.
Hi, how are you?
They just wanted a tour of the theater, so yeah, I'm sure they can walk down and out the door. Yeah.
It looks so much smaller.
It looks smaller.
Yeah.
It was bigger. I don't think the physical space has changed.
No,
it's
no,
just
no,
that
no.
we have, and
Yeah.
it just does look. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I remember these two.
Remember they had the curtain that went across there
Yes,
for
the
the
big
smaller
red velvet
productions?
curtain.
Do you remember where we used to sit, Marilyn?
We was right back up here somewhere.
Yeah, I remember us sitting back here.
Yeah.
We'd eat our lunches.
Yep. And it was darker
Do you,
in
do
here.
you think it was there? No, it wouldn't have been there. I think we might have sat up here.
It was either this side or that side.
Wow. You know what? For good old time's sake, we would sit here and we would watch people do their performing. It's kind of interesting because I do remember us sitting in this spot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because we would come, and I think there was times we would come to that door there, and there was other times we would come up the stairs. We'd come right up to the back, because if they were doing their performing, they would have these back lights turned off,
Yeah.
and they would have just the stage lights on, and it was perfect. We would just come up here. I don't know how many times, lunch date times did we come up here? This is where we would come, and we would just
It was our thing to do.
we would eat our little findings there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very fond memories. It's actually really neat to be sitting here again, isn't it?
It is so cool.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. This is one of the more memorable. These are one of the more pleasurable memories for me, is sitting in this theater with you and hanging out. Because didn't have a whole lot of friends in the school.
We
because
reminisced a lot about
Yeah.
this, doing this,
Yeah.
like being here. And now that we're actually here, it's just...
It's just really, it's surreal.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting. And it's funny because, you know, I didn't have a whole lot of friends in school because always the same reasons, not having the right clothes and never been able to participate in sporting events like becoming a part of the team or getting into band, which I would have wished I could have because I was really good at drumming. I used to bang on pots and pans and all that, but just never could get enrolled in that. Mom and Dad just wouldn't put the money out for that or couldn't afford it or whatever. Well, I'll tell you one thing, this has been a lot of fun. The last time we were at this school, in this school, 83?
82, I think, for me.
It was 83 for me. Because I remember after this we moved to Maple Ridge and then we went to school at Garibaldi at 84.
Yep.
I remember that because Van Halen came out with their album Van Halen. Jump! Take care. Every bloody door he's out like a jack in the box. Say hello. Go around the other side. Hello. Get out of here. Nice guy. You remember the days when they actually did the
Here, stand in front of me a little. Be my shade.
all right. When they did the sandcastle competition, remember that? That was fun, eh? Sandcastle competition. I think I was 15, 16 years old, 17 years old.
He was 17. Because I was 19, 18, 19.
Well, we found a restaurant that's called the West Beach. And they seem to have some pretty good prices here. Yeah, Marilyn just went over to the bathroom just to wash up. It's very, very hot today. She's going to throw some cold water on her head. But we finally found a place to eat. Wasn't that a fun dinner?
It was great.
That was considered dinner, I guess. It's close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's close to dinner. The burger was good. How was the fish?
Fish was really good too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We, it was fun. The only issue is noisy people and people smoking right next to the tables. It was like, I guess that's the crane they used to rebuild the pier with, because that certainly doesn't belong there. Yeah, there's one thing that I always find very nice about White Rock. You can smell the tar from the tracks train,
yeah.
and you can smell the salt. It's actually nice here. It's really cooled down.
Yeah.
Very pleasant, and we're going to have an opportunity to take a walk along the new pier, the new addition of the pier.
Now, right, miss you.
Good luck. Miss.
Okay.
Well, Marilyn, did you have a good time?
I did.
Yeah, we did a lot of reminiscing today. It was a lot of fun, and the food wasn't too bad. It's nice to walk along the pier. I don't get to see my sister very often, so this was a real joy.
It was great.
I love you, sweetie.
I love you too.
We can go one more.
Yep.
Yep, and we'll head back to Abbotsford and got to pick up some cat food for my cats.
Cats, plural?
Plural, we have two.
Oh.
One nice gray kitten and another one that runs from me all the time, even though I've never done anything to it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one of those scaredy cats. Well, good morning, my friends. How are ya? I am Trucker Ray, and welcome to my channel. If you're viewing for the very first time, I share my experiences driving the highways of North America, and I love to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, my Savior, my Lord. Well, I am currently in Abbotsford, just leaving Abbotsford. Had to pick up a load of rice that's going to Calgary. Leaving town at 12 noon, I did not think it was going to be an issue, but it's been a parking lot all the way from the Portman Bridge all the way to here. I had to cut through Langley. I had to cut through Langley. The traffic was so bad. But it's going to be much worse later. Give or take 2 or 3, 4 o'clock, it's going to be really ugly leaving town. Because everyone's going to be getting away for the long weekend. The final camping weekend of the summer. And then kids go back to school. Hope you enjoyed some of the coverage that I took with my sister. Reminiscing at the different schools in our neighborhood. It was so much fun. I love Marilyn, and she's so much fun to hang around with. We always have a really good laugh. It was just really fun. And you know what? If you ever have those opportunities with your siblings to go and explore and to relive old memories, it's really beautiful. I really encourage it. Okay, so yes, we're taking this load to Calgary. And then from there, I should get another load to Winnipeg, and then get into Winnipeg Sunday and move into my new truck. That's right, I have my new truck is ready to go. All I gotta do is move my stuff into it and get ready, prepare for it. There's a good possibility that I'll have all of Monday to get it ready, because I don't know if they'll have a load for me on Monday. More than likely they won't. They might, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, traffic is starting to flow finally, which is good. Just want to open up with a prayer. If you guys want to join me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this day. And Lord, just thank you for the wonderful weekend I had, or should I say the wonderful few days I had off. It was just so nice to be able to just get out of the truck, spend time with family, my daughter. It was just really nice. And Lord, I just pray that you be with me on my way to Calgary. And Lord, I just give you glory for everything that's going on in my life. That's wonderful. Just your presence in my life. And I just notice a lot of things in me are changing. And I know a lot of that has to do because I'm in your word daily. So Lord, I just thank you and give you glory for everything that you're doing in my life. Would you protect the animals on the road, the other motorists out there, and keep this day safe, Lord. And I pray and ask, Lord, that you would bless all of my YouTubers, especially those that are returning to the channel that have been here before. Thank you all. In Yeshua's name I pray, amen. Did I say that at the beginning? Usually I say welcome back to my regulars. If I didn't, I apologize for that. I apologize for that. Look at this parking lot. Highway 1 is one of the worst highways in Canada, in North America. I would compare this almost to the I-5. It's always a parking lot, no matter what time of the day you come through. Now look at this, we're all coming to a halt now. Why? There's no reason for it. Because someone's riding their brakes probably up there somewhere. Oh well, next stop, we're going to stop and get some fuel and hope, and then just keep going. I won't make it to Calgary tonight. Not with all this traffic, just no way. Maybe I'll make it to the Stony Nakota truck stop just outside of Calgary, but there's no way I'm getting into Calgary now. Hi there everyone, I am Trucker Ray. Welcome to another edition of Bible Break as we continue our series in the book of Revelation. Today, chapter 4. And I first wanted to say thank you so much for all the wonderful comments I've been receiving. This series is really going off really well. People are being blessed by this and people are really excited about this. This is a wonderful prophecy. And as I said at the very beginning, you will be blessed when you hear this prophecy. And I'll be blessed by reading it, and it's wonderful. So we're going to begin chapter 4, and the individual that's talking right now, this is the revelation to John. John, that was exiled on the island of Patmos, he wrote this. This is a revelation that John wrote that the Lord Jesus gave him. So this is him talking, beginning chapter 4, verse 1. After these things I looked, and behold, a door standing open in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was like a trumpet speaking with me, saying, Come up here, and I will show you things which must take place after this. Now, I want to make one thing very clear, and this is just my opinion, and I know a lot of people won't like to hear this. I've heard scholars, I've heard very famous preachers state that this is the rapture of the church. Verse 1, chapter 4, verse 1. But as you can clearly see here, this is a command to John to come up and to see things and to write things down which Jesus is going to show him. This is not an event for the entire church. This is a single event for John. I will read it again. Tell me if this sounds like this is for the entire church, because it is not. This is specifically for John, that he may come up into heaven in the Spirit and he may write down what Jesus is about to reveal to him. After these things I looked, and behold, a door standing open in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was like a trumpet speaking with me. A trumpet speaking with me, John, speaking with John. Come up here, and I will show you, John, things which must take place after this. And I will continue. Verse 2, immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he who sat there was like a jasper and a sardis stone in appearance. And there was a rainbow around the throne in appearance like an emerald. Around the throne were 24 thrones, and on the thrones I saw 24 elders sitting, clothed in white robes, and they had crowns of gold on their heads. Wow! 24 elders at this table. Amazing. We know 12 of them are probably the apostles. Who do you think the other 12 are? Well, Abraham, Jacob, Jeremiah, David, Solomon. Oh, I could just imagine who would be sitting at that table. Verse 5, and from the throne proceeding lightnings and thunderings and voices, 7 lamps of fire were burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Before the throne there was a sea of glass like crystal, and in the midst of the throne and around the throne were 4 living creatures, full of eyes in front and in back. Verse 7, the first living creature was like a lion, the second living creature like a calf, the third living creature had a face like a man, and the fourth living creature was like a flying eagle. Verse 8, the 4 living creatures, each having 6 wings, were full of eyes around and within, and they do not rest day or night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Verse 9, whenever the living creatures give glory and honor and thanks to him who sits on the throne, who lives forever and ever. The 24 elders fall down before him who sits on the throne and worship him who lives forever and ever. And they cast their crowns before the throne, saying, "You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they exist and were created." Isn't that beautiful? You are worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for you created all things, and by your will they exist and were created. Now we've got the 24 elders falling down before him, casting their crowns. These crowns that even we will receive are meant for eternity. It's meant for us to have for eternity. When they cast their crowns, I feel in my heart that they are putting it before the Lord, saying, "You are the one that gave us these. We didn't somewhat earn these crowns. These were given to us as a blessing, as a gift, as a reward for our faithfulness to you, O Lord." Chapter 4, a little bit shorter than the others, but I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments regarding anything in any of these chapters, please leave it on the bottom of my video. On our next episode, we will check out Chapter 5 of Revelation. Until then, bye for now.
Hi, I'm Kaci from Cherokee, South Wales, and you're watching one of me and my dad's favourite channels, Live on the Road with Yeshua and Tracker Ray.
we just made our way into Winnipeg. And we're just heading over to our cross dock in Winnipeg. That's not too far away from the yard, where I'm going to, I think there's supposed to be somebody there take off the skids that I have on the back of this trailer, and then I can take my trailer over to the yard and drop it there, because it's going down to Minnesota, I believe it is. I don't know, somebody's got it. Maybe they'll be taking it tomorrow, I'm not sure. They could be taking it today, so I wanted to make sure I got here as soon as possible. I was supposed to be here by 2. I'm gonna get here a half an hour early, and I like that. I always like to do that. And then after we drop the trailer, we're gonna go check out our new truck. And I'm excited about that because I don't have to tell you. I really don't have to tell you, for those of you that have been following me since I've been in this truck. I really don't have to tell you how excited I am to get out of this thing. The Lord has provided a safe truck for me, and I appreciate that. The truck, the engine has been quite reliable, except when the clutch went, and I had some other issues. But generally, the truck has been pretty good, except for stuff inside the interior falling apart, banging my head on this thing all the time, and it's just not the truck for me. It really isn't. And the way the thing barks and tweets at you every time you put it into gear, it's enough to drive you nuts. So I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to moving into the new truck. And I have the whole day off tomorrow, which I'm really happy about, because that's going to give me an opportunity to get everything set up and not rushed. Like if I only had the rest of today, I probably could do it, but I wouldn't have a whole lot of time to eat anything or nothing. Because there's a lot to be set up when you get into a new truck. It's like moving into a new apartment. You got to find new areas to put your storage. I got to set up my antennas, because I want my VHF antenna set up for the winter time. Because I do believe it's the 24th of September, which is the first day of fall, I think. Might be wrong on that, but I know it's towards the end of September. So fall is on its way, so I want to be prepared in every way possible. So we got another 30 minutes and we'll be over at our cross dock and get rid of these skids and make our way over to the regular yard and drop this trailer. Seeing a whole lot of geese. They must be somewhere else. Maybe they're in the water. It is a warm one today. Well, my friends, this is the final leg with me in this truck. I got my key to the new one. My driver manager Sasha gave it to me. Great guy. I want to thank several people for making this happen. Sasha, Stacy, Dylan, Jeff, and Sharon. I'm not sure who had the final say in it, but keys to the new truck is right here. It even has a fob. You can even remotely unlock the doors, which I think is really cool. Moving up in the world, baby. Yeah, so that makes me happy. And because I have the whole day off tomorrow, it's going to give me an opportunity to set the truck up perfectly. Because I still got to get over to Walmart and get some food. They're closed at 6 p.m. and they're not open at all tomorrow. So I got to get food today. So I'll get this trailer dropped. I'll take you guys for a little look inside. And we'll go from there. Well, we have dropped our trailer. And we are now heading over to get a look at our new truck. And it looks like it even has a CB with it. I guess they come with CBs. That's really nice. how sweet is this? Great tread on the tires. A nice APU unit, it's a carrier. Lots of room in the back here on the catwalk. And one thing that I noticed too that I'm really liking, look at this. We got chain hangers on both sides. Look at this. Is this sweet or what? I absolutely love this. There's nothing worse than having to dig chains out of your jockey box. This is choice. Thank you, Lord. And thank you, teams, for coming through for me. And these tanks, I'm trying to figure out the size of them. I can't tell, they're a little bit dirty, but by the size of these are about 120 gallon tanks. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell, not until later, but yeah, 120 gallon tank. I think the other one's 125. I really do like the design of this truck. Jockey box has got plenty of room back here. Looks like we got another jockey box on this side. And there's even more room in here. There's the other weather front. It's got a couple weather fronts. Oh, this is beautiful. And these are really important too if you have to get towed. Little hooks that you put on the front of your bumper. Let's get a look inside, people. Ooh, boy, is that ever nice and clean. Look at how clean this is. Looks very, very nice. Doesn't have a whole lot of mileage on it. I don't even want to have my shoes in here. I'm not gonna wear my shoes in here. Don't drop it, man. Wow. The room difference in here is phenomenal. There's a lot of room in here. At the very beginning of this production, I showed you guys a little bit of the outside of the truck. I never gave you a real close look at the inside, maybe a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I had everything set up. So we're actually fast forwarding towards the end of my video when I was recording it, but I'm adding it at the beginning of the video just after you seeing the outside of the truck and a little bit of the interior. So here's the transformation. I've set up a lot of things in here. It's home now. Alright, as you guys can see, this is where I normally have one of my GoPros, but you know that I'm going to be using the camera that I have right now. Got my GPS set up here. This CB radio was already in the truck, but the problem with it is that if you can see, the sound actually comes from underneath. But this is neat, look at this. I can actually slide this thing right out. What a nice little feature that is if I wanted to change this radio. But I'm going to try to rig it up so I can have better sound. But that's kind of cool how that just slides out. So we've got all our storage up here. We've already taken care of that. We've got our high security seals here. We've got storage up here. Our VHF radio, which is going to get installed. And I plan to put it right here. I'm going to put it right up on here. I'm not going to mount it to anything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to zap strap it. As you can tell, I've already put some Velcro on here, and that's going to keep that from coming down. Because I've already have my satellite radio. That's already been set up, and I have the antenna outside. Cooler's in the exact same place. The satellite I have is a little bit like the other one that I had before, an older one, so I've downgraded with that, but I do like this one better because it has the keypad. So, as you can see, everything is the same as I showed you last time, but the transformation of which I wanted you guys to see is in the back. Now, on the very, very top shelf, I purchased myself a couple baskets from Walmart where I have my jeans in one, which is in this one here, and in this one here I have my shirts, sweaters, socks, undergarments, etc. My tool bags and everything is up top here, so that's out of the way. So what I've done is I've actually taken this bunk and I've elevated it a little bit. As you can see, I've got a couple bungee cords and a cord. That's just elevating it enough so I get a little bit of the sunlight coming through here, and on the same on this side here. And there's that nice beautiful prayer cloth that was sent to me by those precious people back east. I have found a permanent home for my daughter Chelsea's picture, which is really nice because in the other truck I just couldn't seem to find a place to put it. Now it's permanently mounted there. My microwave oven up here, and my emergency food kit is up top here. And it's got the window over here, which I do like, so I can look out the window when I'm actually laying down. And it's got the vent over here. You can either open this way or it can open that way. So it all depends which way the wind is going. My APU unit, I managed to get that working. That was a pain in the butt to get to learn, but I did figure it out. And it's got some nice lighting in here as well. So as you can see, we've got the bed set up. It's very, very comfy. And what's really, really nice about this unit too is actually has a really solid table. This is a great table. It is super solid, and this is what it can do too. I do believe it's here. Let's see here. And I can actually slide it like this. It doesn't get in the way of anything. So now that gives me a little bit more room, and I got some stuff here I need to put away. But it gives me access to these drawers. And there's another one down there. The way that this company spec'd everything out with this truck, a lot of these are just open cabinets on some trucks. Not on this one. All of these cabinets down here, they all have doors and drawers, which is really nice. This one here, I have some supplies in there. Jackets, reflective jackets in there. It's got a mirror right there, which is great. The fridge, I did organize it a little bit. And oh no, there's Ray with his chocolate milk. Don't worry, I don't drink them every day, but when they're $1 a piece at Walmart, you can't resist. But I can get quite a bit of food in there. And as I was mentioning before, the freezer is really nice. You can just get a lot of stuff in there, and I really, really like that about this freezer. And another thing that this one had that the other truck did not have, and that is a wall mount for a TV. So I have been saving up my Walmart points for the last 9 months, and I accumulated about $130 worth of points, which gave me an opportunity to buy a TV. So this TV itself is just a a 24-inch TV. I probably could have fit a 32-inch in here, but as you can see, the mount on the back there, it's a standard mount, and it did mount this TV on there, and I know I can get a 32 here. But this is kind of neat too. I can literally slide this all the way over here if I want. I mean, there's really no need for me to slide it there. This is good enough. I bought, and as you can see here, it's got some really nice lighting here too. You hit it once, it makes it a little bit bright, and then you hit it again and it brings it a little lower. So it's very, very nice ambient lighting in here. I purchased an inverter. This is a 500 watt inverter. It's meant in the event that you want to use it on something else. These two will hook up to little clips if you want to hook them up to a battery. But right now that thing puts out only 100 watts right now. But this TV itself, I'd be surprised if it's even using 75 watts, because it's not causing any issues whatsoever with the inverter at all. So this, I'm gonna just switch this back over again. This is a huge blessing. And another thing I wanted to show you, and this is the curtain here that goes across. And it's nice because it's got snaps, but it also has a magnet right there. You get it together, and the magnet will stick together in certain spots. And yeah, it's very, very nice. And then once you have that closed up, you have ultimate privacy, and it's very, very romantic setting in here. So I am very much happy with the setting that I have in here now. It's awesome. So there you have it. Things set up. We got a TV set up in here. And the reason why I wanted to get a TV put in here, and that is because I have an HDMI cable I can hook up to my computer. And when I'm in a city or in a town, it's nice to plug in or set up or scan for the local satellite channels, so that way I can at least watch the local news. It's nice to know what's going on. So there you have it. The view of the truck set up and ready to go. Well, my friends, we are relaxing now over at the yard. We got everything set up and I'm very, very happy. I will give you guys a little bit of information. I've had an opportunity to drive around with the truck, test drive it, and I really like it. It has a system on it called a forward collision mitigation system, and what it does is it will prevent you from getting too close to a vehicle. It will warn you, it will give you off certain warnings. It also tells you how fast the vehicle in front of you is going. It will tell you how close you are to that vehicle, and it also has a cruise control assist program built into it too, which means if you're in cruise control and you're driving, say, along the highway, and say I go into a construction zone and the construction zone is 40 miles an hour or 80 kilometers an hour, I can set my cruise control at that. But you know there's always somebody in front of you that wants to go a tiny bit slower. So once that system is initiated, I think it's automatic anyway. I think you have to set it in there, but it's already automatic on the truck right now. I didn't have to I didn't have to adjust anything. If the guy in front of me decides to slow down a little bit, say he goes down from 80 down to 78, my truck will detect how fast he's going, and it'll slow me down to match what his speed is. It'll always keep me a certain distance from that other driver, and I really like that because it's very annoying when you're going through construction zones and other areas where the guy in front of you just can't make up his mind how fast he wants to go, or he's going to go too slow or too fast. So that is one thing on this truck I really like. I've had a lot of drivers mention how they do not like this mitigation system, that it's always beeping at them and it's always annoying them. But I did quite a fair amount of driving and throughout the city and that with it. I don't mind it. Maybe I'm nuts, but I don't mind it because I always try to keep a distance with the other vehicle anyway. How it's going to work on interstates is another thing. I'm going to find out soon enough, because tomorrow we are going to be heading to Laredo, Texas once again. Not down to this bond shed though. This is going to be a delivery right in Laredo, and then I'm supposed to be taking another load out of Laredo and back here to Winnipeg. And then on Saturday we're going to take part in a fundraiser that's raising money for Special Olympics. They're going to have, I don't know, over 2,000, maybe more trucks. They're going to drive around the entire perimeter. It's going to be a convoy that's going to be escorted by local law enforcement, and we're going to be a part of that. I can't wait. I'm going to have cameras set up, and I'm going to share this with you guys, and it's going to give teams an opportunity to put this on their Facebook and their website too. And I think they're really going to enjoy that kind of promotion, and I don't mind doing it. I mean, look what they gave me. They gave me a great truck. I'm very, very happy about that. So that's kind of what's going on tomorrow. We will be, it'll be at the start of a new production. So the video next week, you will see our run down to Laredo and back in the new truck. And so this video was a little bit more of a personal thing. You got to see some interaction with me and my sister, living a little bit of memories, making our way over here, and introducing you to the new truck. So, and of course, our great Bible study on Bible Break in Revelation. And so we will be starting a brand new video tomorrow morning, and you will see it next week. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video, the introduction to the new truck, meeting my sister and that. And I really do hope you, if you're a brand new subscriber, stick around. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell. I think it actually prompts you to hit that bell anyway now, doesn't it? So, pleasure to have you here. And fall is around the corner, another 2 weeks to go, and we're going to make our way into the winter season soon. I know nobody wants to hear that, but this is where things get exciting, and this is where this mitigation system is going to really be put to the test. How does this going to work with slippery weather? Because a lot of people are concerned that if someone in front of you is on ice or bad conditions and they hit the brakes all of a sudden, and your truck is going to react to it. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be really keeping my distance and being very cautious because of this mitigation system. It's only been tested down south in really nice weather conditions, not in the winter conditions. So if we start hearing it's causing massive accidents, they may end up disabling it for the winter time. We will see. But in the meantime, I will not be a test pilot to see how fast I can go into a ditch. I will be very, very cautious, as I try to be all the time. Thank you for joining me. God bless you all in the name of Yeshua. Until our next video, bye for now.